What's going on, everybody? This is the blockchain backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Today, we're taking a look over here at the Bitcoin price chart as the day gets kicked off with a little bit of red over here in the cryptocurrency market, looking for supports coming in here for Bitcoin. We'll also talk about the XRP price chart, which still just remains hovering up here after its breakout from the SEC summary judgment ruling, which declared XRP as not a security. We'll also talk about the stock market, which yesterday had an insane monthly candle close for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which officially closed the month of July above all retracement levels. The same was true for the S&P 500 and for the NASDAQ 100, clearing all retracement levels. Yet, Bitcoin just doesn't want to cooperate just yet. But first, we'll dive into Bitcoin and reiterate the things we've been looking at for the last several weeks. For those who were here from April through June, we had been studying an ABC correction. There were YouTube videos and tweets written about this, anticipating an ABC correction coming in for Bitcoin. This thread was updated for several months until finally the box was reached and we recovered. In the original example, we discussed how this has happened before with Bitcoin and the fractals that have played out with Bitcoin previously. And we've been reiterating that for the last couple of weeks. Now that we've bounced out of here, can we get our breakout? Certainly, many of us were cheering for something like this, at least I was. However, price has really stalled out here. We had noticed the one difference that was different between our current times and past ABCs is how this level had come back to get tested in each circumstance. For Bitcoin, that would be $28,500 in current times. As we can see, we're getting awfully close to being there, at least according to the Coinbase chart. If we look at Bitstamp, we're not quite there. The same is true for Binance. We're not quite there. The same goes for Kraken. Not quite there. And really, that's what we see in most exchanges. But Coinbase somehow got this magical wick happen on it on like a 1 minute market sell that happened in here last night. So I'm not exactly going to trust just this one little market sell that happened there, as it does give the appearance as if we've already backtested that previous resistance to see if it is a support. But that's not the case everywhere. So we're getting close to that area to see if there's a support level there, but it doesn't seem like we're out of the woods yet for things just to start reversing. So in the coming days, we'll keep an eye on it, but this is the area where I'm watching to at least try to make some sense out of the pullback that we're experiencing. As we all know, we're at the major support, major resistance level for Bitcoin dating back for the last 2.5 years. So it's a big level to try to get through. Now, if you may have noticed, I have been off of YouTube for the last 4 days. I was off on Friday and Monday. It's normal for me to be off on the weekends, as I've been mentioning for the last several weeks that I would be off July 28th through 31st. Prices for XRP were pretty much boring the entire last week, including the time that I was gone. It's usually one of the running jokes that, hey, something dramatic will happen whenever you leave. No, it was pretty much the most boring that we could get, as XRP does still continue to hold that floor that was set back there on July 14th. Now, I, of course, have a long-term bag of XRP. I had mentioned last week that I took a stab at adding a small amount more, equating to about 1% of my total bag. The stop loss on that is below here. These funds were reserved for approximately 58 cents, but in the event that we do hold that support, I've gone ahead and taken a stab at this level where we're actually at this morning. So that position has remained unchanged for the last week. If we take out the floor, I'll take the 3.5% loss on that and then just put the funds in as we get lower towards the 58 cent region. However, still unknown if we're going to break through that support floor, as it still has held all week. As we know, in 2017, we definitely were testing supports on top of the breakout level before prices were able to move up a second time. That has been the big head scratcher that we've been in this whole time. Will that matter? Or will we just continue to consolidate in a range before stepping up again? We can clearly see at this point, we've been in here much longer than we were during that time. This lasted about a week. We're now going on almost 3 weeks in here. Even all of our oscillator indicators do not look the same, regardless of what time frame we choose to look at this on. We've definitely cooled off in here, so it just can't be ruled out that we have to at least check for some type of support. And I've brought this up many, many times here on the channel, including here in just the last several weeks, that the big element that is still missing for that big push up to happen there in XRP is to just see strength emerging here in Bitcoin. So we're still waiting to get that out of Bitcoin right now. Like I've mentioned, I've made my entry. So long as the floor is still holding, all is well. But should we take out that floor, it sure seems likely that would be where we're heading. Now, if you caught my video last week titled Broke Them All, XRP price chart breaks trend versus Bitcoin in altcoin market for the first time in 5 years, with a thumbnail saying XRP most significant move in 5+ years, I showed how the parabolic uptrend of the altcoin market versus XRP had come to a conclusion, and for the first time in all of history, the altcoin market broke through its 200-week moving average versus XRP. We dive deep into bubble popping structures of what this looks like and essentially shows a long-term trend change of the altcoin market versus XRP, meaning that XRP would perform better than the altcoin market would. This particular chart does not tell us whether or not one is appreciating or one is depreciating, or if they're both depreciating, but one's depreciating more than the other, or if they're both appreciating and one's appreciating more than the other. It's merely showing performance. And that over the course of the last several years, the altcoin market in general has grown versus XRP. And that XRP has not kept up with the whole altcoin market. Whereas if we look like at the total market cap where we include Bitcoin in it, it has still remained within the oscillation boundaries. But what we did talk about last week was that it's likely some form of a backtest will come back on this 200-week moving average as it broke it down for the first time ever. And what I do not know is whether or not that is XRP pulling back to backtest the top of its breakout range, or if it's the altcoin market breaking from its Wyckoff accumulation, having its sign of strength, and leading ahead of XRP. Either way, it seems like there is some type of event, one way or another, that would cause this to backtest, which means there's some like 20 to 25% change in the market. Either XRP falls 20 or 25% while the rest of the market stays still, or the rest of the market raises by 20% while XRP stays still. Hard to know which one of those elements it's going to be. But if I had to imagine any of those scenarios playing out, any type of backtest happening on here, it would insinuate that the altcoin market would perform better than XRP during that very brief moment of time. Still indicating long-term fall happening here for the altcoin market versus XRP, but that this particular moment of a backtest likely would cause some type of confusion or chaos in the market. Not sure. And the way to think about that happening would just be like if the altcoin market just went whoop up 20, 25% in a big whack to the upside, say maybe Ethereum breaks out and XRP just waddles here the whole time, that would cause that to happen on this chart for that backtest to happen. Alternatively, just a backtest down here where XRP falls 20%, but the altcoin market just waddles in here, that too could cause this to happen. It's merely that there's a 20% change difference between the two. You could either have the altcoin market shoot up 20% and XRP stays flat, or you could have the altcoin market stay still while XRP backtests its range. Both of those situations would cause a backtest of the 200-week moving average. And both of those situations would be painful, right? I've been here long enough to know it. I've seen all the screaming that happens out there. Why is XRP falling all by itself? What is going on? The regulatory clarity did nothing. Or why is the altcoin market taking off, but XRP isn't doing anything? This scenario points to one of those two things happening. So keeping that in mind, if that's what happens, mind you, this has never happened before throughout the history of the crypto market, where that 200-week moving average has held for all of time. It has never broken before, and we just did it. Considering how many times we tested it on the upside, seems logical we're going to test it on the downside. And just keeping all those things in mind is the way I'm trying to operate and keep my reasonable expectations and emotions in check with where we are right now. And understanding we just spent a year and 2 months in one range, we're now trying to find our new range boundaries. It's an awesome time, but we're still trying to confirm range boundary floors. And I'm definitely cheering for the scenario where the altcoin market just starts marching its way up, because I do recognize the element that is missing here in XRP for a continued leg higher is just that, seeing the altcoin market starting to roar and seeing Bitcoin start to roar. The great news is that we've seen the stock market starting to roar, closing the monthly candles above all retracement levels for the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ, which as we can see over here on Bitcoin, we are way behind where they are, but we have that going on out there in the stock market, and that is screaming positive for crypto. It's just like usual. We're slightly lagging behind the stock market. So, as I've been gone for 4 days, not a whole lot has changed. The floor of XRP is still holding. The downward trajectory of XRP paused as expected last week once we started getting near the support levels. Now we're waiting to see if we're going to break up off of the support levels and if Bitcoin's going to find some support at the level that it typically does. But the reality of it is, not a whole lot has changed in crypto in the last week, unlike all the predictions that were made out there that while I would be on vacation, that we would have something significant happen. But hey, we'll have another shot at it pretty soon, as this is a really short week for me. And I'm technically still on vacation right now. I just knew I would have a chance to be able to do markets in the morning and put out a video, but I'm technically on my end of summer break right now. And I'm back for 2 days, but things will really start to resume back to normal next week. Otherwise, as for a quick check-in on the markets, not a lot has changed. Bitcoin's still just sitting here above that support level. I would say the only thing that has any differences here from what we looked at last week would be like the 50-day moving average that has been taken down. You can see the 100-day moving average sits really exactly at that level we've talked about right there at 28,500. So that'll be the thing to keep eyes on for the next couple of days. If price keeps moving the way it's moving, it seems to just steps down, boring, steps down, boring. And hopefully this is our area where we can turn this baby around. Otherwise, range still continues over here for XRP. If anything changes, we'll have something to talk about. Otherwise, we're on the lower bound of the range. The cheapest price is being offered for this particular range. Otherwise, while it may seem boring over there in crypto, it's definitely exciting to see these things happening over here in the stock market. And to put into context how high of a close that is, that's the highest close we've seen in the Dow Jones Industrial Average since the high that was set back in December of 2021. In January of 2022, we took the plunge. This is our highest close since all-time high. We have not closed any month since then that high. And that is an element required for the crypto market, and I'll take it. So great to see that over there in macro. Coming back after a small little vacation, you would think there'd be some big changes over here in crypto to really talk about. Outside of Bitcoin shuffling down a couple of $100, everything still just kind of remains the same. So we'll keep checking on it today and tomorrow. Otherwise, I will be finishing up my summer vacation this week. And it'll be next week that we'll get right back on the grind with deep dives, analysis, and all that fun stuff. So we'll watch that $28,500 level for Bitcoin this week. We'll keep an eye over there on XRP to see if the support continues to hold. Otherwise, it's still just a patience game. But right now, both of them reaching support levels while the stock market rampages. So hopefully our time to shine is right around the corner. But all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up as my end of summer vacation continues. I'm definitely still on vacation mode, but it feels good to check in with you guys because this is such a huge part of my life. Otherwise, I'll catch you over there in Markets in the Morning, and I'll catch you in another video tomorrow. But on that note, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. This is a great opportunity to check out my website over here, bcbacker.com, which is a course I created to help you understand price action and why the market moves the way it does, condensing my years of experience and lessons learned into easy to understand content, helping you eliminate the noise, understand what moves the market, grasping the cyclical behavior of Bitcoin and the altcoins, and how to remain calm during periods of excitement and volatility. I created 41 videos with 11 hours of content to help you build a rock-solid foundation and skip many of the expensive lessons in crypto for just $39. No subscriptions, no hidden fees. Check it out, bcbacker.com. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.